TAL. Why was it a shot at around 80 area and why was it not a shot at around 74 area? Hi guys. I was asked a couple of times today, like what did we see to shot it at around 80 and not at around 75 area. So I'm making this video just to explain what I saw and felt to postpone the shot at like from 74 towards 80 area. Try to make this as brief as possible. Let's dig in straight away. So I was watching TAL, like it was coming up on scanner, like everybody was talking about it. So from what we see on the 5-minute, this is the 5-minute chart here. So from what we see in the 5-minute chart, it did look like a big spike from 70 area or 69 area to 74 area. Like it's a pretty quick spike, right? So normally we would go short on these names when we see something like this. But when I'm watching a 5-minute chart, I'm also watching the 1-minute chart. 1-minute chart did not show the same kind of story that 5-minute chart was showing. It was felt like more calculated than what the 5-minute chart was showing. So if you look at this, the move started around 69. Just before it hit that quarterly pivot around 72-80 area and like 74 area, it did it did try to pull back, but was pushed, like bought up higher, break the highs and move this. So when I saw this simple sideways action, pull back and a break of the highs, I realized there is more to this. Okay, so normally that's how I trade. Like I do look for the small things to have my positions. I try to have my position at the right spot. Try to have it at the right spot. Not always happens. So when I saw this, I thought there is more to this. Okay, than what we initially felt like. Okay, it's probably going to reverse from here, like from 74 area. The story would have been totally different. Let's say if this, like if you see this candles or 1-minute candles, it continued moving to this, the story would have been totally different. Like none of this happened, like it straight up moved from here to here. Then yeah, definitely it was a short for me, right? But in this case, it felt like it's there's probably gonna be more buying and it continues higher. So we are seeing like people covering, people who are short earlier, they're like short somewhere here, they're eager to get out of the stock. So that's the reason why it started moving higher, right? And next we saw it came up until 75, pulled back, but it did not come down at all. Like it moved sideways for some time, then started trending higher. It broke the highs up at 75-25 level. It continued moving higher, right? So it did within 5 to 6 bars, it was right at the stack up here. Okay, so let's go just take a look at the same chart in the 5-minute, right? So in comparison, right? So you see this like 5 to 6 candle moving here. So in this case, it was just one candle straight up move. This for me was a definite shot. There was a stack up at around 80 area. I did alert the room like when right before I took this trade. So let's go to that. So I did alert this room at around 18 a.m. So I got ready. Like when I saw this move, I was getting ready. Like with my I had an open order. I was getting ready to short it, knowing very well there can be, like when squeezes happen, you don't know exactly where it's gonna end. So this was clearly a squeeze. The squeeze started happening from this point here at around 70, like that from there till here, right? From like up until 84, it did squeeze, right? So when squeeze happens, that we really don't know where it's gonna stop, right? So you may have you did see Adriano posting like, okay, he's very comfortable with this short position, even though his average, like he started little bit earlier than most of us. The reason for that is he did see this as a squeeze, right? It was not necessarily an organic move, it was a squeeze. So he was very comfortable, so was I. So I was not necessarily worried too much about where it's gonna go or it's gonna continue going higher, because I did see this as a squeeze. Okay, so the next level I was very comfortable at was, to add was around 8360 level. I did see that as well, like there is a monthly pivot there, and I also did see this particular thing on the daily. So this was a previous quarterly pivot. Forget about that. Like there was a level here, right? It did test like a couple of times, came down after that. So that kind of interested me, even though I started off at 80-40. Like I think I was probably like quarter size or something like that. Okay, so when you see a squeezing stock, you don't necessarily go all in at one place. So you need to like kind of have sizes at different places. So I did that. I started off at around 80, like probably my average was at 79, 90 somewhere there, and I did add at 83.60. Okay, so and I was comfortable about that. So moving forward, so I did see, once I was in the short, I did take some off at around 80-42 area, just because it was a stack up of pivots here. So I did take some, but I noticed something, so I did post that. I noticed that, and I said 80 is the base at 10:28 a.m. So that's probably here, somewhere here. Like, okay, once after this was done, so I saw that. Yeah, I saw this, and I said, okay, 80 is the base. The reason for that is simple. I mean, if you see this again, it pushed higher to this pivot, stack up of pivots, tried to pull back a little, did not, bought up again. Like if you see this here, and then again this here, like, so this is very clear, right? So if you see this, it tried to go below 80, but it not got bought up again. The reason for that, like for example, if somebody shorted at around 83.50, they want to at least make sure that they take some money off the table. So they'll probably cover some here, and people who are stuck, they'll always try to stuck short, they'll always try to get out at the first signs of some kind of a reversal. So that's probably what happened here. So we see the volume pick up too. So, and when I saw that, I thought, okay, 80 looks to be a base now. Okay, I'd love to see this kind of bases happening at 5-minute chart or on the 20-minute chart, but these are all the small cues that I look for, and I did see this 80 as a base, and I was looking forward for how it's going to react at the highs. So like you need to make a decision whether I can add somewhere higher, or do I have to stop out. So you need to make some kind of a change in plans and something like that. So I was weighing on seeing, like I did have my small piece of position covered here at around 80-40 area. So I was looking forward, like looking at how this action is going to look. So I saw this base, I was looking how it's going to react at this area. It tried to push higher, it could not move through that monthly pivot area, and started coming down. So now, once the base is formed, what interests me is how it's going to react at that base level. Okay, so in this case, it could not hold on to it. It did try. It came down to 79, 75. Pushed a little higher up until 80, 70 area. It failed, and it finally broke below that level, below that base. Again, from what I said before, like when these kind of things happen, when I see these kind of things like base formation on a 5-minute chart, it gives me a lot more conviction. Of price being a support or a price being a resistance. I will not go and say, like whenever you say and see a base, it means it's gonna break that and it's gonna do a reversal. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say is, whenever you see this kind of bases and when a price, like when a stock breaks that base, you now know that's gonna become a resistance. Okay, so the reason for it's pretty clear, right? For when it comes to seeing those bases, and when that breaks, how it becomes a resistance. So that's what I posted here at around 10:29. If that 80 breaks and holds, then we have a long way back down. What do I mean by that? So I saw like this holding on, and when it broke, I felt when it breaks, I felt there is a lot more to this trade. Okay, so let's say like I think my average was around 82 area, 80, close to 82. So when I saw this base forming and finally broke, now my conviction is saying there is a lot more to this. Okay, let's go until the 7650 area, this monthly pivot area. So that's how I change my plan. When I see this base close to these pivots, I change my plan. Okay, I like initially, let's say if I wanted to cover at 78, now I see a base right above that, like 78, like right above like 80 area. Now I say, okay, I think if this base breaks, there is a lot more flushing gonna happen. Okay, there is a lot more move that's gonna happen. So I'm gonna hold on to that position, that whatever that small position I may have left, I'll just hold on to it. That's how I use bases. So I think I posted about that 80 base couple of times. So now I think at around 11:07 I said watch that 80 level. In my opinion, it's should have a difficulty passing through that level. So why did I say that? I said it because what I saw here. Okay, so it came down all the way up until 76, 75, just before that monthly pivot, and started slowly trending higher towards that 80, that level that we were talking about, that 80, like, it's an area, it's not a particular price level, it's an area. And that's the reason why I posted that. So it had a difficulty passing through. Now that 80 level is the resistance, right? So it had difficulty passing through that level. So it continued lower. It still did not cross below that previous low, at around 76, 75. But it was good enough resistance level for for somebody who's trying to play it safe. These kind of shots also is a possibility. You can still like end up taking these kind of shots. So that's what I saw, when it was moving higher, and that's what I saw when it was trying to reverse from its highs. Hope it makes sense. I'm pretty sure I missed quite a lot of my thought process while I was trying to explain it. Do hit me with messages, ask me any questions you have. I'll try to explain it in more details or make another video. I'm planning to make another video on how I trade, when I see a base formation, where I see base formation. Like, it's very important to know, like, you just don't go short or long just because there is a base forming, right? So you need to see certain things before you enter a trade, and I'm planning to make a video on that, like what is a base and how to trade a base. Have a good one, guys. Take care.